This is VFL Weekly Wrap for round 9. There's a lot to get through, so I'll go get to the point. Now, Friday afternoon, Footscray beat Geelong by 23 points at the Whitten Oval, 14-10-94 to 11-5-71. Geelong have lost 5 in a row now. Now, the match at Box Hill City Oval saw Box Hill beat Brisbane by 19 points for top of the table, 14-7-91 to 10-12-72. Brisbane were 28 points up at quarter time. They had 19 more inside 50s. They had 21 more clearances. And they still lost. Now Sam Butler for the Hawks. 42 possessions, 10 marks, 1 goal, 8 clearances. Henry Huswaite continuing his good form. 35 possessions, 11 clearances. Now Box Hill lead 2-1. Head-to-head against Brisbane, and all those matches have been at Box Hill. Now the game at Preston City Oval saw Casey smash the Northern Bullants by 71 points, 17-19, 121 to 7-8-50. Casey were 5 goals 8 to 2 behind at quarter time, and it was pretty much over. The Bullants only scored 1 goal 5 up to 3-quarter time. Dreadful. But then they managed to kick 6 in the last quarter. Casey had 441 possessions, 171 more, 33 more inside 50s, 45 more hitouts. Also, 25 more clearances and 71 more marks. It was an absolute belting. Every Casey player had over 10 possessions. Casey have won their last 6 against Northern Bullants. Now the match at Fankhauser Reserve saw Southport beat Frankston by 40 points, 22-10, 142 to 16-6, 102. Another high-scoring game between these two teams. Boyd Woodcock, 37 possessions, 15 clearances, 5 goals. What a game that is. Braden Crossley, the ruckman, 54 hitouts. Now the Sharks lead Frankston head-to-head 5-0, so Frankston still haven't got him. Now, the game Saturday evening at Princes Park saw Williamstown beat Carlton by 38 points. A good win there for Willie. 17-15, 117 to 12-7, 79. Brodie McLaughlin, look at this. 7 goals, 5, 24 possessions. He also had the most possessions on the ground. Incredible. That's the first time Williamstown have won at Princes Park in 4 attempts, and they've won their last 4 against Carlton. They're back. Now, Saturday night at Frankston Oval saw Richmond beat Essendon by 22 points, 10-14, 74 to 7-10, 52. Richmond have won the last 7 against Essendon. Now, matches on Sunday at Victoria Park are belting here. North Melbourne beat Collingwood by 72 points, 19-9, 123 to 7-9, 51. Collingwood were 1 goal 5 at 3-quarter time. Incredible. Cooper Harvey for the Kangaroos, 5 goals, 11 marks. Bit of an upset here in Albury. Port Melbourne beat GWS by 26 points. 16-14, 110 to 12-12, 84. Port Melbourne had 23 more clearances. Archie Manton, full forward, 5 goals. Inspirational skipper Harvey Hooper, 27 possessions, 8 clearances, 8 tackles, 10 clearances, 1 goal. He's been in brilliant form this year. First time ever Port Melbourne beating GWS, and it was the 5th attempt. I went to 2 games on the weekend. The first one was on Saturday at Coburg City Oval. It was Ladies' Day. Coburg against Sydney. Coburg winning by 32 points. 11-23, 89. Yes, you heard that correctly. To 8-9, 57. Sydney were 4 goals 2 to 2 goals 4 up at quarter time. Coburg kicked 4-6 to 1-3 in the second quarter. Coburg kicked 2-6 to 2-4 in the third. And they dominated the last quarter, 3 goals 7 to 1 goal. Since quarter time, Coburg kicked 9 goals 19 to 4-7. The major goal kickers, actually, the wind was blown towards the Brunswick end. It was worth 3 or 4 goals, so again, pretty strong. Sydney kicked the first 3 goals of the game. They had the win. Then Coburg had to win the second quarter, used it. Sydney were terrible in the third quarter. Coburg shut them down, and Coburg should have buried them. Now, major goal kickers, Mitch Pajaski for Coburg kicked 3. Ryan Valentine, Jesse Corigliano, and Josh Datino Sante. Well, Valentine and Corigliano kicked 2. Josh Datino Sante was off target. 1 goal 5. For Sydney, Willem Smith and Jack Bullock kicked 2 each. Jack Bytel for Coburg, 38 possessions. This has been unbelievable for him. 11 tackles, 9 clearances. Joel Trudgeon, 36 possessions, 11 clearances. Donovan Tui, 33 possessions. Flynn Gentile, 32 possessions. Sam Mason, 27 possessions, 12 marks. He came back into the side, the defender. Joe Furphy to Ruckman. He's had a good start to his career, 44 hitouts. For Sydney, Ben Payton, 37 possessions, 7 tackles. Ben Edwards, 36 possessions, 8 clearances. Caleb Mitchell, 32 possessions, 9 marks. Coburg amassed 447 possessions, 124 more than Sydney. A whopping 216 handballs, 17 more inside 50s, and 38 more marks. It was a nice day, bit sunny, ground in good condition, good crowd there. Very windy, as I said, blowing to the Brunswick end. Well, since quarter time, Coburg really dominated the game. They should have won this game by 10 goals. They just did not have their kicking boots on. But a win's a win. And that is the first time Coburg have ever beaten Sydney in the VFL. And it's the third time lucky. Now the game on Sunday, I went to Moorabbin. This is the first time in 30 years I've been there. I was impressed with the ground. Get this, Sandringham and Gold Coast drew. Sandringham 11-6-72 to 10-12-72. The Suns were 3 goals 3 to 2 goals up at quarter time. Sandy had a good second quarter, 5 goals 2 to 3-3. Third quarter was a dull affair. Suns kicked 1-4 to 1-2. Last quarter, Suns kicked 3-3 to 3-2. Major goal kickers for Sandy. Billy Richardson kicked 3. Jack Carroll kicked 2. For the Suns, Jai Farah 3. Miles Enders kicked 2. And the possessions, Jack Carroll was a hero. I'll get to that in a moment. He had 28 possessions, 8 tackles, 2 goals. Hugo Garcia, 27 possessions, 10 tackles, 9 clearances, 1 goal. For the Suns, Alex Sexton, 28 possessions and a goal. Alex Davies, 27 possessions, 9 tackles. Ned Mulder Ruckman dominated, 44 hitouts, 6 clearances and a goal. The Suns had 71 more possessions. The Suns were 19 points up 25 minutes into the last quarter, and in the last 7 minutes, somehow Sandringham kicked 3 goals 1 to tie the game. Jack Carroll marked and kicked a goal after the siren from just outside 50-metre arc to draw the game. The wind was blowing towards the Nepean Highway end. It was worth 2 or 3 goals. It was sunny, it was windy, the ground was in immaculate condition. It was a pretty decent crowd there too at Moorabbin, I might add. And I must say, the museum at Moorabbin there, RSEA Park as they call it now, was unbelievable. If you haven't been to that ground, I recommend it. I was happy with that. Like, the Suns had to win in the first quarter, but I think Sandy did well to hold them to 9 points, the lead. But then Sandringham had a very good second quarter. They slammed on 5 goals and took the lead. Third quarter, the Suns were absolutely woeful, only kicking 1 goal. And then it was a 1 point lead to the Zebras at 3/4 time and thought they're going to come home. The Suns dominated that first 20 minutes of the last quarter. They just couldn't get their hands on it, the Zebras. They were against the wind, and the Suns looked like they just ran completely over them. It was disappointing, frustrating for Sandringham again. But they waited till they were 19 points down to come back. They had the wind, and they managed to get a draw out of it. A remarkable game. It was a very good game, actually. But it was very physical, good tackling from both teams. A lot of spirit shown. There was spirit shown between the two teams. It was a good game of football. Now get this. The Zebras and Suns have drawn the last 2 times they've played each other. Both times at Moorabbin. Once last year, once this year. Amazing result, that. Excellent game. One of the games of the year, I might add. Now the goal kickers. Brodie McLaughlin and Mitch Pajaski both have 27. They're leading. Won't go through the rest. Don't worry about that. The ladder, I'll just go by points. Box Hill, 28. The Sharks half a win behind on 26. GWS have lost 2 in a row now. They won their first 6, lost their last 2 as I expected. They're 24. North Melbourne doing well, 22. Footscray, Brisbane, Collingwood, Richmond, all 20. But Richmond's percentage is pathetic. It's only 90 or thereabouts. Werribee and Coburg have snuck in the top 10 on 16 points. Just outside it, Frankston and Williamstown both on 16 as well. Casey, Port Melbourne now, 14, half a win out. Outside the top 10. Essendon, Geelong, Carlton are 12 points. The Suns are struggling. They're 10. They're in trouble. Sandringham up to 6. Sydney 4. Bull Ants, Northern 8. They're not going to win a game. It's an absolute logjam there right now. And it's good to see, actually. Coburg's in there now. Werribee had the bye and they moved up a spot, I think. It's a fascinating ladder, isn't it? Port Melbourne, Williamstown started poorly, but they're coming now. So that's the ladder. Now there are 9 games for next round in round 10. Some good ones here. There's a game Friday. Brisbane Essendon. That's at Brighton Homes Arena in Ipswich in Brisbane. Now there's 6 games on Saturday. Gold Coast at home against Coburg. That should be an interesting game. The game I'm going to go to, Northern Bull Ants against Southport. That's at Preston City Oval now. It was down. It got rescheduled last week. It was down for Bundoora, but they've changed it. GWS at home against Richmond should be a good one. Sydney at home against Casey. Probably to match it around is Box Hill against Collingwood at Box Hill City Oval. That's going to be a belter. The TV game, Frankston at home against Sandringham. Sandy beat them there last year, so we'll see. Now Sunday, there's 2 games. I'll probably go to this. Port Melbourne against Werribee should be an absolute belter of a game at Northport Oval. Should be a very good crowd. And another good game here, I think. Williamstown against Geelong. Don't underestimate Geelong in that game. 3 teams have the bye. Footscray, North Melbourne, Carlton. It was another good week of footy. See you next week.